Hey, it's the podcast guy.
Sutton United Talk Time on podcast. It's the Sutton Podcast.
And there it is! Sutton United at the GM Vauxhall Conference have put out First Division Coventry City, winners of the FA Cup themselves less than 2 years ago. And what a moment to enjoy for the fans of this Surrey side. They've had their moments before, but never one like this. But the whistle goes down. Delight for Sutton United. Sutton United, the National League, are through to the last 16 of the FA Cup. No longer English football's perennial non-league club. A 123-year crescendo reaches a new peak for Sutton United, who are promoted to the Football League for the first time.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Sutton United Talk Time on podcast. It's the Sutton Podcast in association with Lucky Star Gin. If you're a regular listener, thank you very much and glad to hear you again. No, glad to have you, whatever it is. And if you're a new listener, you're very, very welcome and I hope you stick around. I'm your host, Mike, and with me today we have Chris and Andy. We love hearing from you.
Hello.
Oh, God, hello. That's all right.
Hello.
Join the conversations, tag us on social medias at Sutton Podcast, and chat with other fans, get the engagement up and all get it in front of other eyes. So we skipped hello, but how are you? Chris, how are you?
I'm good. So as long-time listeners may recall, I am one of the tunnel stewards, and yesterday was due to various things, was my first game of the new regime. So I was kind of infused. So yes,
Very
I suspect
good.
more on that later.
Yeah, very good.
Yes.
And Andy, how are you?
How could I be anything but great after yesterday? Simple.
Yes, I mean it absolutely should not affect our mood whatsoever, and we all grown-ups and we're all adults, we understand this, and yet it definitely affects our mood.
Yeah.
No matter how much we try and pretend, no, it's fine, it doesn't affect me, never too high, never too low. It's like bollocks.
Most Sundays I help at Junior Parkrun over at Nonsuch, and the regulars noticed that I was wearing a Sutton top for the first time in a while.
Right, various bits of club news. Oh God, there's loads. So Fipsy's left. Good luck to him. I know. Probably I haven't spoken to Chris about it at all, but it's probably a really difficult decision. But it's one of those where he's been saying all along it's a big squad and something has to give. But so yeah, good luck to him, and thank you for everything that you did, especially that was it winner? Yeah, the winner against Farnham. Gary, Otto and Costa was over, so it was great to see them at a match. So not suggesting they have to come over all the time, but if that's the influence they have, then be at every game, please. There was a great day. We were going to try and get one of them on to talk about it, but the Aussies invaded, and there was quite a few Aussie fans over yesterday. They happened to be standing in front of me, and ended up chatting to quite a few of them. Although I was disappointed that my wonderful, wonderful joke on social media of Aussie fans are coming wasn't picked up as the holidays are coming song. Aussie fans are coming. Aussie fans are coming. I thought that was brilliant, and no one took it on. I'm guessing the fact that Andy's holding his head in his hands and rolling his eyes is possibly why.
Extraordinary as usual, Mike.
As usual, creative mind. That poor Sally has had to put up with all these years with no one else being part of it. She's had a solitude of this problem. FA Cup match, the hospitality is already sold out. So it's looking like it's going to be a big, big crowd. So get your tickets in for the 5:15 kickoff. Captain's evening is postponed, possibly due to one of the three people that was going to be doing it is now not at the club anymore. So, and also I think it was only found out yesterday that Chris had decided to give the players Monday off, which would be a bit harsh then on those players that are off on Monday to have to traipse back in for Monday evening. And the FA Cup trophy draw is tomorrow evening. Andy, you did a very nice detailed post about that So who did you?
We
work
can't
out?
draw Spenny more.
We can't get Spenny.
We
couldn't have
can't
got
get
Spenny
Spenny
more.
more. Get in.
Hey.
We couldn't have got them anyway, could we?
No.
Well, not in this round. No.
But yeah, that draw is taking place. So another chance, and we can go into these things with a bit of confidence now. And yesterday was the National League free up day of action, where all the matches kicked off at 3:03. Obviously, it's really important for everyone to visibly support this. Just quickly on that, what do you two think? Is that going to have any effect? Do you think we're going to get it? What do you think, Chris?
It relies upon turkeys voting for Christmas.
Yeah,
that's the problem. I mean, okay, sure. I mean, we've gone from 1 up when we feel like it to 2 up. I mean, so like, surely eventually it will, but like there'll be clubs. I mean, particularly, I think the plight of Morecambe might weigh heavy on on voters in League Two, because like if Morecambe do a York and kind of have successive relegations, then yeah, I think it's probably not going to happen. But also Morecambe have, shall we say, special circumstances, whereas York, when they got double relegation, like in our first season back in the National League, when we came up to into it, York didn't have all of the financial brouhaha that that's been happening over at Morecambe. But
it is, because when we were in the league and they were talking about it with that Wrexham and Notts County mad season where they both got a huge amount of points, I was like, do you know what? It should be the way you voted before. Should be the way you vote now. So all the league clubs that were in the conference will go, well, you said no before, you can't now argue for it. Obviously, my mind has been changed by the fact we're back down in the National League. But Andy, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, Chris raised a good point about Morecambe and other potential basket cases, because there have been a few. I mean, Macclesfield a few seasons back was a big problem for the league, and Bury, of course. So these clubs that are spending beyond their means will do anything to kind of save their league status. And I don't know. Again, it's a case of persuading league teams to say yes. So there needs to be a lot of lobbying, and a lot of lobbying from non-league teams to basically say, look, if we have 3 up, this is going to be better for you because we've got this team in the National League, we've got this team in the National League, who are getting attendances, better than half of the teams in League Two. Vote for it. Okay, it's going to be in your interest to do it. But I think we're a long way off. I think Chris has hit the nail on the head when he said Turkey's voting for Christmas. The bottom half of League Two will not vote for it at all. The teams that were kind of like perennially struggling, the kind of the Harrogates and the Newports and teams like that, who are always bottom half, they won't vote for it. The only way it will happen will be if the League One sides say, well, actually, this might be better for us because we'll actually end up having a higher quality League Two.
Well, it could also be better for them because they could then argue, well, actually, we should only have 3 down now. So League One clubs will want 3 down and 3 up as well, so to make it even across. I did note that Aggie's kind of said a couple times that he's been a victim of it last year with that. But that wouldn't necessarily change to going down from the National League, because if you went 3 up from each of them, I mean, 6 would be going down from the National League. And I mean, it'd be great, it'd keep it fresh, but it'd be a very difficult way to do that, wouldn't it? Bottom go, it's all going down.
I also suspect that might be almost part of a condition that it doesn't become sort of like the 3 up doesn't spread.
I mean, that would be mad, wouldn't it? You'd have 9 new teams in the league every year. Lots of people be able to tick places off. They'd love it. But we'll go to the the only thing I did is I did the hospitality again. I got to speak to 2 legends yesterday, 2 Hall of Famers, Tony Raines and Mike Cornwall, and I actually did all right. I think I did some good questions where I got them to tell the old stories and then current things on the current side and the modern game and stuff. But I took the compliments in my usual style. People said that was good, and I went, "Thank you," and ran away. So, yeah, I can pretend, I can give it all that I'm great, and as soon as someone else says, "Oh, that was all right," no, leave me alone. But yeah, I'm really enjoying them now. Right, quick chat on the lineup expectations. Chris, how did you go into the? I mean, obviously you've just said you've not really seen anything live and in the flesh, but how did you go into the game? Expecting, or what did you expect, and was there any surprises in the lineup for you?
I kind of went in somewhat hopeful, just because of of our recent kind of form, and also Halifax don't seem to travel particularly well, so I don't think there were any special surprises. One observation, because like their captain is their goalkeeper, who is one of the tallest people you're ever likely to meet outside of a basketball court. And I kept on thinking, I recognise you, but it might just be that I recognise him from last time Halifax came. Yes, yeah. He had to bend down to go through some of the doors that we have, and I don't think our doors are small. But but also it might just be his force of habit, because if you're that tall, you probably
I mean, Harry and Omar used to have to dip, but I don't think they had to bend that much.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Andy? Any hopes, expectations, and any surprises for you?
Well, I think there's 7 or 8 players basically which Chris has decided are his first choices, which is not bad. I mean, it was it worked for Matt Gray. Matt Gray knew his starting 11, and it was a case of exactly. And so did everyone else. That ended up being a bit of a negative by the time we got to the 3rd season in the EFL. But you've got players like Pruti and Taylor and Simper and Harris, and probably now Bonner, who are going to be on the team sheet week in, week out, barring suspension injury, I think. I was surprised that Naderson wasn't there, but then I heard he picked up an injury, so that made sense. And yeah, it's kind of like, I think if you're following Sutton games week in, week out, you're starting to probably see a settled regular side. And I don't think that's a coincidence in terms of how we're performing either.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I haven't actually spoken to others, but they did say, or Chris said, that last week at Morecambe he was injured, and that's why he didn't start. But he was obviously able to come on and help us out there. Before I forgot to mention it in the club news. Sorry, the ladies won 3-0 again today, so they are back to winning ways.
Good.
Although I thought it was a bit harsh. I mean, obviously there's other things at play, but Gabby Williams, who was playing very well, we lost our first game and she bloody left. So, I'm assured it was it was just coincidence, but I'm like, wow, that's some standards. So all these are kind of all over the place. I've just made some notes, but highlight from the outcome of yesterday is we are out of the relegation zone. We have, in the last few weeks, moved off the bottom, moved up, and now completely out of it. Not completely out of the whole problem, but we're out of the relegation zone. How much of a psychological difference do you think that will make to the team, Andy?
Oh, huge. Absolutely huge. I mean, last time I spoke on the pod was Aggie's first game, oddly enough. So it's quite nice to come back 10 games later to kind of review where we are. I think it's huge. There's the confidence I've seen the players gain over the course of those 10 games. Every single game, they're more confident. They're more willing to take pot shots. They're more adventurous with how they play. Oddly enough, you just see some. The match against Eastleigh, for example, they were just playing balls into space that you wouldn't have thought they would have played into, and then there was a certain player running into it. And how you can compare that win to this win and say, actually, we changed our style to match the opponents. So looking at who we're actually playing against. So I think there was, it's huge that we're out of that, and now there's a real incentive to stay out of it. But yeah,
no, brilliant. And Chris, similar thoughts or?
Yeah, I mean, I remember I think it was on the BBC coverage after maybe after the FA Cup game or what ended up being the first leg of it, the final one. That he was Aggie. Is it Aggie or Ag? Aggie, I think. Aggie was saying that that he'd come in and the confidence wasn't there, and he's focusing on rebuilding the confidence, and you could definitely just see that in like how they've been now compared to how they were in September. So
also milestones here. Third clean sheet of the season. Technically second under Aggie. I don't know if we can really count. He started on the Friday and we got a clean sheet the very next day. But I mean, it was under his management. But third clean sheet of the season. Is that important, or is it just picking up the points being important? Because I know he likes to play the you score 1, we'll score 27 type of football. But do you think that's important as well, Chris?
Yeah, I think again it just adds to confidence, and also as well, I think it helps calm fans' nerves a bit. Speaking for a friend, because like yesterday, like when the penalty happened, because I was in a food queue, so I didn't see the incident. I heard a bit of a kind of noise, and I turned around. And I was like, "Oh no!" And was just relieved that we'd managed to hang on to it. I mean, okay, sure, I would like our defence to be a bit more organised. I mean, but certainly, you get. Like, the most important thing is to get wins. You get wins by scoring more goals than the opposition. So, yeah, okay, yes, we do that way. It's better that than 0-0s. But
if they don't score, we can't lose. Andy, important for you for the clean sheets.
I mean, the clean sheet. I mean, the flip side to that is obviously it was his 11th game in charge. Mm-hmm. First game we scored no goals. Every other game since then, all the other 10, we've scored at least 2 goals.
Yeah.
So we've instantly rectified one problem. Now we're starting to rectify the other. Defence was a problem all season. The defence was a real issue. We were scoring goals before Aggie came along, but it's much more consistent now. And really, the Eastleigh game should have been 2-0. We gave away a silly penalty. And again, we gave away a silly penalty this time. So we've got to cut that out. I think I counted it up as 11 penalties we've conceded this season.
See, I tried counting this up earlier, not today, like last week, and I only got to sort of 8 or 9. So I'm like, I must be missing something somewhere.
If you include the National League Cup games, it's 11.
Oh, that might be what. Okay.
Yeah. And so it's just like, really? Having another penalty is like, I mean,
yes,
Tommy made a great save. I don't know how much he knew about it, but he still made a great save. But I think getting the clean sheet is so vitally important, particularly at home. We shouldn't be conceding. I mean, you go back to Boreham Wood back in September, you don't score 3 goals and lose. You don't, and we did. So by making sure the defence is shoring up, and the defence, again, like the rest of the side, is getting much more confident. And I mean, particularly, and I'm going to name them here, Pruty and Taylor have improved so much under the new management, particularly Pruty.
Yeah.
And it just some of the interceptions they're making, it's really, really good. So I think, the clean sheet really, really is very, very important. The fact that we can do it and win by doing it, that's what we need to do.
Yeah. So I was going to come on to it, but we might as well go for the defensive discipline now. I mean, lots of people saying possibly Pruty's best game for us. Now, obviously, I think he gave away the penalty. But even so, he had a solid game. And Jack, I think his problem is his standard has been set. So now everyone's expecting him to play at the 8s every match. So if he drops it, it's going to be noticeable. But do you think that discipline is there now? Have we nailed it? Or do you think there's still going to be stuff to do? And to be fair, Aggie has always said, when I'm talking about defence, I'm not talking about the 4 or 5 players who are playing in defence. I'm talking about the entire side. do you think it is something we've got sorted now, or is it well on the way? And is it the bringing in the players like Jake Taylor?
I
Andy,
think it's on the. Oh, sorry.
sorry. Go on.
No, go for it, Chris. You go first.
I was just going to say, I think it's still a work in progress.
Mhm.
To be fair, I mean, there were some kind of like heart and mouth moments, but yeah. So I think, but it is important that defense is the whole team. Because if you've got the ball in the opposition's corner, then you're unlikely to concede a goal. It's best to just kind of keep it up there as much as you can, and that just requires the whole team just being able to just put on pressure. Andy.
Thank you. I think again, it's not. I think the big difference for me is not necessarily that. I mean, obviously the defenders are playing with more confidence and have improved their performance. But I think one of the big issues we had under Morrison, and this was, I spotted this against Forest Green, and it carried on, was that lack of holding midfielder. There was literally no cover for the defence. Big gaping holes. Teams were just running at us. We tried Phipps in that position. He was okay. Muller coming back was better, and also has the ability to move back in defence if we need to. But we were really missing Woodyard. So now we've got basically a choice of Muller, Woodyard, and the other Taylor to do that kind of like tenacious, dogged, holding midfielder, sort of Craig Eastman type role. And that was what we were missing. Now having that, it's allowed the defenders to be more confident. I mean, to be honest, they didn't make many mistakes yesterday. They cleared most of the. There wasn't really that much for Tommy to do.
Yeah,
it was actually quite straightforward. Yeah.
First of all, I'm going to have to talk to Jake and ask him how this experienced player played at very good levels, likes to be referred to as the other Taylor. I'm sure he's going to love that.
Well, it's better that than kind of like the guy that looks like Kenny Davis, which is what we kept on saying yesterday, because it was
somebody.
uncanny.
I can't remember who said it to me, and apologies if it's either one of you that I'm just about to put on the spot. But somebody said to me, he looks like Nicky Bailey and Kenny Davis's love child, and I was like, "Oh,
yeah." Should we move on?
That's a horrible thought. But the penalty, like Chris, it was at the other end. I couldn't really see it. I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't sure. I was going to watch it back, and then, as I said before we started recording, went and saw an Amber Planet, and Frakey, who is no fan of that referee in particular, said it was a fair penalty. So I'm not going to look into this anymore. Andy, I potentially think you're a little harsh with saying he didn't know a lot about it, because he was diving and the ball was kind of going over him, and he dropped his hand back to stop it. So I think he was going full pelt and then moved his hand back to stop it. So I think it was actually
that was a great save.
Much better
great
save.
Yeah.
And I mean, he obviously was delighted with it.
Oh, absolutely.
Who wouldn't be?
But at that penalty, and I'm going to ask you both the same question. When the penalty was given, in my mind suddenly went, oh God, it's only 2-0. Because up until that point, I was comfortable. I was, ref, blow up, because we've got this. It's done. They've got nothing. And I don't want to name drop, but here we go. Terry Bullivant, when I said that to him, he went, absolutely, they had nothing. We covered everything. He goes, they didn't look like scoring apart from that penalty. And I'm like, can't believe Terry agrees with me again. That's like the fourth time. Or he's just been really nice. I don't know. But were you feeling it was comfortable up until that moment? Did you have that little panic of Christ, it's only 2-0?
It was really weird, right? So there was a season probably about 11 years ago, something like that, where we were underdogs. We were just churning out 2-1 victories. I think we had about 10 or 11 in the second half of the season. And it was always, we'd go 2-0 up, they would get one back, the match would finish 2-1, right? And you never felt at that point that it was you were worried. If it was 3 or 4 weeks ago, I would have been like, oh God, but yesterday felt more like that DOS season. It didn't. Halifax, I think we made look poor. I don't think they're a poor side. I think the way we approached the game yesterday and how we played made them look worse than they were. So, I mean, I was obviously, pleased as punch that we, we saved the penalty. But I actually wasn't that worried at that point. It was really odd.
Yeah. Very strange feeling, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because there's been times when we've had the conversation that we were 4-0 up at Walsall. Walsall was at ours, and we were 4-0 up at half time. And we're all standing there going, I don't know, if they get one back early in the second half, we could be in trouble. But Chris, were you comfortable? Were you feeling like, okay,
No.
this is it?
No, no.
That's the Sutton fans we expect.
Yes, yeah. I was. I think because I was seeing how the other results were going, and I was just feeling it was so important that we got out of the relegation zone. And I was somewhat concerned, and I could just. I don't. Confidence is such a special and precious thing, and I wasn't wanting anything that would start breaking it. And in the same way that, like, if say, when we go down to Cornwall on Saturday, if we lose, I mean, at least we can say, oh well, it was an away game earlier. But like, the important thing is to kind of make Gander Green Lane a fortress, rather than have like a welcome mat for opposition. And so it was just so important. I was just so nervous, but then like I always will be nervous. I think I started to relax when we got to like the 88th, 89th minute. And I was like, okay, we'll probably get through this.
I think Neil said a couple of weeks last time he was on, he said, oh, no, I didn't think it was in the bag even after the ref had blown the whistle for full time. I was still convinced something was going to happen. Right, I was laughing when you said...
I was just going to say, I nearly started just crying with relief when that final whistle went, and there was rain coming, or drizzle, or whatever it was coming down, and I think the thing was, I just felt that Sutton were back.
That's a general
was the
theme, I think, which we got to talk about. Don't worry. But I laughed when you were talking about that, because I'd written down fortress, because back-to-back wins in the league for the first time in a year. And it was this time last year that we got wins on the 16th, 26th and 30th of November against Maidenhead, Solihull and Fylde. And our next home game is the 29th of November. So we could get 3 in a row at home in the league when we're playing Gateshead. So it was like, is that, and you've touched on it, Chris, so Andy, is that going to be really, really important that we start churning out the results at home? Yeah, cool.
Absolutely. You can't, if you're rubbish at home, you're not going to get anywhere. All our wins obviously have happened at home. So we need to start trying to get a few points on the road. But again, there's no reason why. I mean, we've only got 3 league matches till Christmas, which is really odd, bearing in mind it's mid-November. One of those is at home against the bottom form team in the division. Gateshead are they're imploding at the moment. So it's our best opportunity to do it. And if we can win 3 on the trot leading up to Christmas, that'd be great. Because we've got all the shot on Boxing Day. They're not great shakes either.
Yeah,
we could be if we play our cards right and we perform to the level that we have been performing in the last 3 or 4 games, we could be in a very healthy position come the end of the year.
Yeah, I think we'll talk about those games in a mo, but I think the way it's building up, all the confidence is going to start going, and then that builds its own momentum, and that's when the luck starts going for you, because you're chasing down balls that you might have just thought, oh, what's the point? And I'm not saying any players made a conscious decision to go, I'm not running, but it's those little moments where you hesitate and the chance is gone. But let's go on to, I mean, the midfield. I mean, you've got Simper and Harris, who are kind of controlling things a little bit more now. They're gelling really, really well, obviously, with that holding behind them. How critical are those two going to be for our push up the table for the rest of the season? Andy, we'll start with you on that.
Yeah, I mean, vitally important. Simper's doing what he did last season. Simper started off really slowly. It was only around Southend last season, around mid-September, where we started seeing the good side of him. And again, he is consistently good. And he's a player that can, again, one of those players that can perform magic. He's absolutely, he's the one at the moment, although that my opinion may be changing, who it's like I'm most worried about in the transfer window. Put it that way. That's the best way of describing it. Harris, right? Harris gets a lot of stick from the fans. A lot of stick. I've heard more, well, at least 2 fans, maybe more, literally shout out, "You lazy bastard," at him, right? And he's not. That's the thing. He's just gangly. It's just the way he moves. He can't help that. But I think, again, he's another confidence player whose confidence was shot because of his injury. It's taken him a lot of time to get back up to pace. But now I think Aggie's doing exactly the right thing with him, is nurturing him, and we are starting to see the best of him. And a lot of people have said that was Harris's best game of the season. I think that was probably spot on.
Yeah, I mean,
he was brilliant yesterday.
Yeah,
I mean, he was cool. Yeah, he was posing all kinds of questions that Halifax weren't answering. So yeah, it was one of the best games I think I've seen him play.
And it's that running down things that he's got no right to be chasing down. I did wonder. I mean, I've heard some of those as well, Andy. But I did wonder: is it because before the injury, he was clearly our best player at the time? Because again, it was early last season. That was before Simps was pushing on. It was before Will had started scoring all those goals for fun, and then it was a big loss when he was out. And I'm wondering, are people trying to compare to that?
I think people have got selective memory. Actually, I think on his day he was our best player, but he was either absolutely brilliant or absolutely terrible. He never had an okay game before he had his injury. Again, we're going back. I'm going to say this. I'm going to be bored of saying the word consistency, but he didn't have any. Now I think he's developing a lot more of that. He is improving as a player, which is what you want to see every player do. So yeah, I think those people who may have been a bit critical will remember his really, really good performances, but we'll forget like Tamworth at the start of the season where he was atrocious. And people generally don't like to remember bad memories, so they like the good ones.
Of course. Right, let's talk about the goals. First of all, I cannot love this boy anymore. I thought I could not love this boy anymore. Junior got his goal. It's been coming. I've been saying week after week, "Go on, Junior, don't worry, it's coming, it's coming." What a player we have got. I mean, he loves this club. He will do anything. Steve was really complimentary about him, saying he's ready, even if he's not involved. He's watched matches. He's watched things back. He's preparing, even if he's just on the bench and he gets on for 5 minutes. Aggie, just the same, but he's putting him in left back, right back. He's like, Junior's going, "Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do what you like." But his performance, especially over the last few weeks and yesterday, Chris, and the goal. What do you say about Junior?
Oh, excellent. I mean, I'm just so thrilled for him. And I mean, because he's been creating chances, and I watched that goal back this afternoon. It's just brilliant, and also his joy, his absolute delight, like when he was after the game, because that was the thing that was interesting. So he was clearly delighted at when he scored it, and the players all came round and everything, but he wasn't kind of milking it. However, at the end of the game, running over to the Collingwood Road end, and it was just lovely, absolutely lovely. You could just see how much it meant to him.
Yeah, and Andy, I mean, we're getting more of this now with social media that we never really got before, but seeing how many of the players were delighted for him to score just shows what kind of person he is. I mean, anyone who's met him or dealt with him or seen him at any of the events will know that he is a great guy. But all the players going for it as well. I mean, how did you feel about him?
Firstly, I was over the moon for him. He's worked so hard. He's done so well. He deserved that. And actually, the reason why he scored it is the thing that I can't fathom about him, and that is how can someone so young have such a mature, intelligent approach to football? He plays like he's got 10, 12 years experience at this level. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. He is going to be a huge star, huge. So him being at the right place at the right time, other players his age or even maybe slightly older wouldn't have been there. He was there.
No.
He knows. He reads the game so well for someone so young. He's a real asset, and I think now he is one of those players in that group where I think Aggie's going to put him in every single game.
Yeah, he's making it really difficult to be dropped. Let's be honest. And Aggie's always said, if you've got the shirt, it's up to someone else to get it off you.
Yeah.
Other goal, the Warrior. I mean, I'm still shuddering when I read the message. Oh, dislocated shoulder. Oh, are you all right, and Brandon? Yeah, they just popped it back in. Okay. I'm just trying to imagine Cat just get his shoulder back. Go. But his goal, when I first saw it, I was like, "Is he just scuffed that in?" But I mean, the finish was great. Watching it back, obviously. But Chris, talk us through his goal and more importantly, the build up.
From what I saw, it did look like a scuff. I mean, I'm not going to really add too much more to, so I think for build up, I might just pass over to Andy. But I think for me again, it was relief. It was like, oh, we may win this.
We're 2-0 up.
Yes.
Go
on in, Andy. What did you think of?
Well,
sorry,
Jennings in the build up. That was just outrageous, wasn't it? Absolutely outrageous. Was it 4 or 5 players? He just like left them for dead.
He just sent them
Like,
goodbye.
what?
Oh, hang on. Goodbye again.
And then it's like, and then he's like, floated the ball over. I'm like, nah, shame that's not going to go there. And then Brandon's like, oh, hello. I love that.
Right in the centre of goal as well. So he literally had everywhere to aim for. He could have just picked wherever he wanted, and he picked absolutely perfect. But it was just like,
it's just. I mean, I think we'll struggle to see a better example of close skill as we did for Jennings in that build-up. It was just like, wow.
I mean, we're not going to go as far as to say anyone could have scored it because, hello, it's me talking. So we're definitely not going with that. But I did retweet the goal and did put a parental advisory on it because Kai Jennings, that was naughty. It really was. Very quickly, the subs. Again, I don't want to talk bad about any of the players that we've ever had or anything. It's a confidence thing. But you felt when the subs were coming on, you're fine. There's no one that you're sitting there going to go, oh, God, hang on. We could be in trouble here. And a quick word on Osman. Andy, start with you.
Osman nearly scored with his first touch, didn't he? That would have been a right. Yeah, I think he's gonna worry some defences. Put him up. I mean, put him up against the worst defence in the league, Gateshead, at the end of the month. Oh, they're going to be petrified. Absolutely, by his sheer scale and his sheer size. I think it was a good solid start. I mean, the guy hasn't had that much football for various reasons.
Yes.
But speaking to my cousin, who's a big AFC Wimbledon supporter, he says actually he thinks this guy's better than Jennings. And I'm like, really? Jennings is pretty good. He goes, yeah, no, this guy is really, really good. You should, he's another one that you might have him for 3 months, but you should try and keep him to the end of the season because he'll pay you back in kind so much.
I did hear that I think the one or the first training session he had, he was a little surprised about the intensity of the training, and it caught him by a little bit surprise, and he was like, I need to catch up with this level. So I think again, it's one of those that he's only going to get better once he's kind of got used to it all. But Chris, what did you think about the subs and Osman? Or Ozzy? I think he's Oz.
Okay, so the thing about Ozzy, and I think I'm a little concerned about kind of loan players from AFC, given the AFC seem to be talking about there being some kind of like problems getting investment and whatnot in case there ends up being like a bit of a fire sale in January. So
Yeah.
I think that is there as a. I know that people say don't fall in love with loan players. I think at the moment I would be particularly nervous about falling in love with a loan player from a club that seems to be talking about about like that they need to get more financial backing. I mean, maybe they might be just doing that as some kind of weird negotiation strategy with someone. Who knows? But but like the subs in general, I wasn't nervous. I mean, to be honest, I am seldom nervous unless we're kind of like getting somebody out of position, or we didn't have anything like say like that Torquay game when we asked Cy Downer if he would like playing as a goalkeeper. Thank you very much. I mean, I don't think that was a substitution.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that one. It was the one where we had to have Omar in defence.
Okay.
Someone else, I can't remember what it was now. Someone else playing in midfield. Someone. It was just we had about 6 players out.
Swindon, I think.
I think it was Swindon. Yeah, we just had so many players out of position. It was like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yes. Yeah.
It was like an end of season game where you all just put your positions in a hat and you drew it. And you go, that's where you're playing.
Yeah. I mean,
you don't remember the Surrey Senior Cup final against Woking at Kingsmeadow, where by the end of the game we had so many injuries and basically had only one recognised defender on the pitch, and that was Dundo.
Right. Gosh.
But then, Chris, just following on, if they are going to have a fire sale, if those players have performed, I obviously I've got no inside information whatsoever, but I would imagine the investors would go, actually, that's an investment, because if we were able to get them cheaply and then bounce them on, that is a definite what would be an investment. So that could work in our favour.
Yes, but they may also want to be sold to like a League Two club or something. Who knows? But
we'll make them love us too much. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Right. Let's quickly go post-match reactions. It was actually, Andy, I wrote this down before you agreed to step in last minute, and it was one of the. I mean, everything else we've covered, but it was the general air of enjoyment, busyness, and the difference in atmosphere that you had covered, saying the queues for the drinks, queues for everything just seemed better.
It was bizarre. It was really vivid. I'd walk round to the fan zone at half time, and the whole atmosphere just felt completely different. People were talking to each other. People were happy. People were buying more stuff, which they do when they're happier. And it was packed out. And I haven't seen it that busy all season. It was just a complete change of atmosphere. It's amazing what winning can do.
I have a neighbour. Oh, sorry.
Go on, Chris.
I was going to say, I have a neighbour who occasionally comes along to Sutton games, and like we were chatting at the bus stop like a month or so ago, and he said, "Oh, I've been going to see Sutton, mainly see them lose," and he had kind of like stopped going, and I'm not going to suddenly say, "Oh, and he was there yesterday." I didn't see him if he was, but like. Yeah, but like that's the thing. You are just seeing a buzz, and it was just so lovely in the kind of the Roland's Bar, as we must call it for sponsorship reasons, afterwards, where like there were so many kind of like old faces, all just happy and delighted. And the Strikers Are Key was special.
Yeah, it was packed yesterday. It was one of the busiest we've been. Helped immensely by the Australians spending lots of money. A lot of money was spent.
Yes,
but yeah, it was absolutely packed. And I don't think you were in there yesterday, but it was really, really busy. It's one of the busiest it's been for a long while. Again, we both understood why he didn't do it, but Aggie was in the bar and made a point of speaking to a lot of people, which I think affects them coming in, wanting to be seen almost. But the Strikers Are Key were even more special because the Sunderland CEO was there yesterday as a guest of one of the sponsors.
Oh,
He was there with his wife, and they were kind of standing at the door, and I looked and went, "You've been to this before, haven't you?" And he went, "Oh, I have, but I've made her stay to watch this because she ain't going to believe it." I was like, "You ain't ever going to be able to do anything like this." And he was like, "Not a chance."
no.
But yeah, so they had Aggie doing it. They had Hayden. He won. Well, he won the key, but he didn't get to draw it out, and he had to get up in the sparkly red jacket as well. It was just
Yes.
very,
Yeah.
very good.
I was standing near the Australians, and they were loving that.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely loving it. But I mean, I did warn some of. I did ask a couple of them, "Do you know what's going to be happening?" And they went, "No." And I went, "Well, you're going to see something that
You're in for a
never
treat.
see anywhere else."
Yeah. From my chats to them at various stages of soberness, I think they will definitely be coming back again because they've absolutely loved it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, do you know what? Before the up next, I've just thought there's something that should have been under the club news that I didn't put under the club news, and I intended to, but the return of Francis.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
How good is that to see her out? I mean,
Yeah.
she obviously, I'm glad we won because then I did start putting the idea in her head that we were winning because she weren't there. But this, how good was that to see her there? And she was chatting. So many people were chatting to her. In fact, Gary come and said hello to me, and I went, "Oh, Gary, this is Francis," and I didn't see him again for another 15 minutes. He was sort of ignoring you now. Chit chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, delighted to see you back, Francis. Amazing.
Yeah.
So
one other thing,
Yep.
actually, well, not so much the club news, but as an observation, I was having a chat with Tats, our CEO, our relatively new CEO, and I sort of like asked him, "Hang on, have we lost yet under your tenure?" And he went, "No, no." So he's unbeaten as CEO. So
okay.
Did you recognise him when he was wearing trousers?
Yeah, oh, the amount of time. Do you know what? We could be in the Premier League if he had £1 for every time people made that comment to him. We'd be rich. He should do that. He should
Funny
carry a little
enough-
tin round. And when someone says it, he goes, £1. That's it.
Yes. Funnily enough, because I have seen him kind of like in Non-Such Park a few times where he's kind of, so I have seen him in non-shorts. So yeah. So yes.
So
when he's out walking dog or
Yeah.
dogs.
I used to actually, before he retired from his job, I used to get the train up with him to London for work, and always it still took me 5 minutes in the morning to realise it was him because he was wearing trousers.
that looks like Tats. It can't be that. So a couple of games ago, we were on here, and I sort of said, right, here's the next 4 games where we're going to get maximum of 12 points. I was confidently going, oh, well, how many will we get? How many will we be happy with? And confidently was saying, well, we should at least get 7. And we're on 4 of that already, and we've got 2 to go. So Truro, as we've mentioned, they're now 20 in the league. Their home record's pretty reasonable. It's not the worst. I'm not saying it's a good home record, but it's not the worst. And we haven't yet won away.
Yeah.
Is that going to be a good time to do that? Andy, what do you think? Is it going to be a good time to
Yeah, I mean, if you look at their home form, oddly enough, the 2 teams they've beaten up in their last 2 opponents, Halifax, they beat them 2-1, and Morecambe, they beat 5-0. Which is strange, but but I mean, they've lost to Eastleigh at home, for example. They've drawn with Aldershot at home. It's an opportunity for us. It's a real opportunity for us. I will be disappointed if we don't come away with a point at least. And again, it's kind of, and that will just kind of shoehorn more space between us and the bottom 4. Yeah. So I'm quietly confident. I will be there, looking at the new Truro City Stadium for my sins. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going down. I don't often do away fixtures, but because I've spent my teenage years in Plymouth, so I will take the opportunity to spend some time with my mum, who is, despite my various overtures, she is not going to be coming to Truro, as things currently stand. But
because she doesn't like the goalkeeper kit, isn't it? What was I going to say? I can't remember now. Oh yeah, I saw someone talking about how great the Truro attendances. Isn't it amazing they've got such a good attendance this year?
Yeah.
And I'm like, but they've just come up. They've got a new stadium. I know a load of people go into that game to get the ticks. So there's a load of people going, oh no, I want to get that one. So it's like, okay, it's maybe a bit falsified, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there is.
And it's an away day. Everyone's going to do the whole weekend, aren't they? Although
Yeah,
everyone-
but I mean, are the? I mean, I haven't analysed it, so I don't know whether they are having particularly large away things as opposed to home. But like speaking as someone who has spent quite a bit of time in that general part of the world, I mean, they are deprived of kind of like professional sport really in Cornwall, apart from the rugby, and Argyle or Plymouth Argyle, as I must say to folks from outside of the peninsula, like yeah, they're okay. Sure, lots of Cornish people support Argyle, but they would much rather not have to go all the way across Cornwall to go to the delights of Plymouth. So yeah, I can understand why they're getting large attendances, and yeah, and like Cornwall gets behind its sport, and like with the so if Cornwall qualify for in the county rugby championships, if they qualify for Twickenham, it's always big news. So yeah, I'm not surprised. Anyway, sorry.
Okay. No, I was just that must be a reason. Obviously, it's not.
Yes.
Shock, Mike talking bullshit.
I mean, sure. There's also the appeal of kind of like.
It's all right. He's trying to dig me out of it. It's fine.
Go to the capital of Cornwall, and it always puts a spring in my step because I am of Cornish stock, and sort of like seeing signs in both languages and everything, which is not something that when I was a youth that you would see in Cornwall.
Yeah.
And I just love it. I'm just looking forward to it so much. It's just a shame that the public transport links are such that from my mum's in Plymouth, it will take me 2 hours each way.
Nice.
Yeah. According to City Mapper. So yeah.
Well, AI has gone for a 2-2 draw.
Yes.
Simpler to score.
Okay. Yeah.
I've gone for solid 3-0. I'm
Yes.
full of confidence.
Yes.
And I'm going to go for Kai Jennings.
Which AI are you using?
I used Gemini, which we're going to come on. We'll come on to your AI in 2 seconds.
Okay, fair enough.
But Andy, have you got a prediction for the Truro game?
You know me, how much I love doing predictions. But I will always kind of look at the football web page's prediction, and they predict that Truro are going to beat us 1-0.
Well, they're wrong.
I don't think that's going to happen, but
they also predict that we're going to finish 18th, and Truro are going to finish on like 14th, 15th. And I'm like,
really?
Yeah, I think they put too much emphasis on Truro's home form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's fine. That's why I don't believe it. Chris, what's your prediction?
I think. Okay, I'll go with Heart. 2-0 to us.
Excellent, lovely. Also, I mean, the other game to finish off the month is Gateshead. So I said really loftily that by the time we play Gateshead, we could be level on points with them, and yeah, we still could be. And then suddenly go above them and start putting ground between us and the bottom four and dragging back the teams ahead. Obviously, that was with my whole we're going to win the playoffs kind of hat on, and just like, oh my god, it's happening. So that's another good one. But yeah, Chris did a little experiment last week, and he asked his AIs to talk about what's going to happen in the Halifax match.
Yeah.
So Chris, go on, give us a little overview of what it said and how it worked out.
Yeah, so I asked ChatGPT, Gemini, and Copilot to give some kind of tactical analysis, or like what the tactics that we should use. So this was slightly inspired by an episode of I think it was The Sports Agents, where they were talking about how Reading have a head of AI, and that various clubs are now using or should be thinking of using AI. And I actually had a chat with a couple of people at Sutton about it. ChatGPT thought that we would lose 1-2 or 2-1 rather, whereas sort of the others thought it was 2-1, and they were saying that we would have a good chance, and that because of Halifax's poor form away, and that we would just need to concentrate on set pieces, and we would just need to kind of like press them. And I then asked one of them to generally sum up the what all the three AIs had said, and it seemed that Gemini came out on top. However, the one that I asked through the summary was Gemini. But yeah, I mean, I am not, as regular listeners may notice, I am not a particularly tactical, astute reader of the game. But it seemed, well, certainly we won, but yeah, I mean, yeah, we were definitely concentrating on them set pieces and trying to make sure that we held onto the ball. So yeah, what do you think of?
Well, there was one bit that it was like something will need to concentrate defensively and press for goals, and I was like, yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. Let's be honest. No. It was one of those. That sounds very much like a Mike bullshit.
Yes, yeah.
But it is interesting. And the thing is, well, I was saying, I think someone brought it up in our little group. I said there is different AIs, and a lot of the, like the ChatGPT and the Gemini, they're not real AI. They're language models, and their answers tend to be from whatever text there is out in the world. They don't actually do an awful lot of proper thinking.
No.
But there is so much AI out there now that is very expensive that can do the thinking and the planning for you. I mean, Perplexity now has a thing where you can use it in your browser, and you can ask it to get information from various websites that you go to. So yeah, some of it's amazing and some of it's quite scary, to be honest. But they all assure me they're not part of Skynet and they're not going to take over the world. They've all promised very, very carefully.
Yes,
they promised they won't. Right, we're going to wrap this up. And thank you for listening. As always, we appreciate everyone's attention. And give us any feedback, like, follow, share this episode at Sutton Podcast on all socials. Big special thank you to my guests, Andy and to Chris. Thank you to our sponsors, Lucky Star Gin. And we are back. Well, hopefully we're going to have another little midweek one with some of the young'uns from the Amber Project, and also one of the guy who organised the Aussies to come down, and hopefully we'll get them on during the week. But if not, definitely back after the Truro match. Take care, and we will catch up soon. Bye-bye. United!